Hey everyone, it's Jack and Ben from Cultaholic and Triple Jump, respectively, and we're very excited tonight because it's time to later on to watch live NXT TakeOver War Games.
War Games!
Now, that will not be taking place on the Cultaholic channel. It will be taking place, due to various different reasons, on the Triple Jump channel. Now, if you want to find a link to that stream, just find it in the description. And if you haven't subscribed to these boys already, give them a little subscribe there. But first, we do have some wrestling news to talk about, so let's just crack straight on with some lovely headlines. A WWE Superstar could be returning this weekend at Survivor Series. AEW have released their second batch of divisional rankings. And finally, a former WWE and WCW star was coaching at the Performance Center this past week. Let's find out who that was in just a bit. So first of all, Ben, let's talk about Survivor Series on Sunday, because apparently there could be a return. According to PW Insider, an absent WWE Superstar has been brought into Chicago, Illinois for Survivor Series weekend. Do you want to know who it is?
Please tell me, Jack.
It could be the Celtic Warrior himself.
No.
Sheamus. Yeah, I know.
Sheamus.
He could be there. Basically, Sheamus has been out for a while with injury, but it was reported a little while ago that he has been cleared since pretty much mid-September. That's when those reports came that he was ready for a return to the ring. But apparently, he's just been waiting for the company to find the right sort of storyline to reinsert him back into, I suppose, the right time. Now, my immediate thought is this is not the right time because there's so much going on.
Right.
What do you think?
Well, I was about to completely change tact and ask you, what do you think he's been up to while he's been away?
Oh, he's just been keeping in ridiculous shape.
Is that it?
Yeah, he's been getting really lean and jacked.
That's unfair, isn't it?
It's
kind of disgusting, really, Sheamus. Dial it back. Give the rest of us a chance.
Yeah, but I don't think this is the right time to bring him back, personally.
No, everything is happening right now. I, as a person who only watches NXT, I want to watch Survivor Series, which is not a sentence I think I would imagine that I would have said a few months ago.
Do you see last night on SmackDown? NXT had a Jeep. They crashed the arena.
Display.
Like Leo Rush was sitting on the front of it. All the rest of the boys were walking around.
Leo Rush is only small. He could fall off and get.
It was going quite slow.
Really safe. That's fine.
But Sheamus, I think, he could return this weekend. There's got to be a reason why he's in Chicago, whether he's just kind of helping out backstage or something. Mm-hmm. Not like setting up the ring, just
hitting the gym.
Yeah,
you know.
But I want to know whether they'll introduce him alongside Cesaro, because of course we last saw him in a tag team alongside Cesaro, The Bar, and before that he was feuding with Cesaro for ages. It feels like a long time since we've seen Sheamus just totally on his own without Cesaro.
Right. That's true. Do you reckon they'd bring him back with Cesaro then, or do you reckon they'd put him back on his own?
If it's Survivor Series, if he gets involved this weekend, then I think he might crash the show with Cesaro. Because Cesaro, as far as I can tell, isn't on the card, but he has been part of the SmackDown run-ins in his lovely blue merch.
He was on NXT this week with his hat, which was a bit strange because I've never seen Cesaro wear a hat before.
He's the only one wearing a hat, I think, as well.
I think they only had one SmackDown hat, and maybe he won it.
Yeah, maybe.
So he gets to wear it. Where do you think they'd put him in?
Well, I think they might wait a little bit, and maybe if they were to do it this weekend, I think they might do it in the men's match. I think you said a little bit earlier that you could see him getting involved in the triple threat.
Right, the triple threat tag champions match.
Oh, the one for hashtag brand supremacy, of course.
What was that? How did you do that?
I did that with my fingers.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
Can you do it like that?
Just that. Yeah,
okay.
Hashtag it. Hashtag Sheamus is the best.
That's really cool.
That's the match between the Undisputed Era, the Viking Raiders, and who are the... New Day, of course.
New Day.
Maybe they'll get involved in that.
Yeah, returning Bar.
I think I'd rather see him come back on his own. I think it would feel quite refreshing to see Sheamus on his own, and then it would give Cesaro the chance to maybe finally get a push, but he's never going to get one.
Poor Antonio.
Now let's head over to AEW, where they've released their second batch of weekly rankings, and I've taken these rankings from the Cultaholic.com website, so thank you to Justin Henry who wrote these up. Love Justin. The men's division first, Ben. Here we go. The champion, of course, is Chris Jericho. Pac is still the number one ranked contender. Then John Moxley's leapt up in the rankings after beating Darby Allin. He's now in fourth place. I feel like I'm doing Wrestlers of the Week. Cody is in third. We haven't seen him for a while because he's had his feelings hurt. Hangman Adam Page.
Oh, Cody.
Hangman Adam Page is... him and Cody have both fallen one because of Moxley's rise. Page is now in fourth. And Kenny Omega, who wasn't in the top five, is now in the top five. So at the minute, it looks like Pac's the boy to watch in the men's division.
Can you explain to me why they do this, because it's interesting and it's different, but it seems like it could be a little self-defeating if
limiting.
they're actively tracking who's losing, not just who's winning, but I feel like losing is such an important part. Unless they're telling a story about someone overcoming a losing streak, it seems weird that they say, right, everyone's won 4 and lost 3, so we're, it's their numbers, aren't they?
I like how it's not necessarily gonna, well, 2 things. First of all, it doesn't necessarily seem to be too rigid. It seems to be more of a guideline because Scorpio Sky has a title shot next week because he pinned Jericho in a tag match. And despite not being a big player in the singles rankings, they've kind of hot-shotted him into that title match. So it's not too, they've maintained a bit of flexibility.
Okay.
And also, they've said, which I think is just another sort of caveat to help them stop booking themselves into a corner, is they've pointed out that it's not just the number of wins, it's also the quality of opponent or the quality of the win or something, how big the match is basically. It's a bit subjective, but
okay,
yeah, they've given themselves a bit of wiggle room. But then that does feed into your point, then why have them in the first place?
Why do that? Just to be different, I suppose, which is fine.
Yeah, it was a big part of their selling point, wasn't it, when they started off? We wanted it to be more real, and the rankings seem to be a big part of that.
Fair
But they have caused a bit of debate online.
Okay.
The women's rankings now, the champion is Riho. Hikaru Shida is the new number 1 contender. She beat the number 2 woman now, Britt Baker, this week on AEW Dynamite. Emi Sakura is 3rd still. Nyla Rose is still 4th, even though, I think we saw her on AEW Dark recently, but she's not been on the main program for a while as far as I can remember.
Okay.
And then Ali is 5th. But she's only got a 1-2 singles record, which I think kind of shows the lack of depth at the minute in the women's division. The way it's being
What
utilised.
happened to that? Because the last live stream we did, we got our second live stream together on Cultaholic tonight.
Yeah, on Triple Jump tonight.
On Triple Jump tonight. Sorry, you what amateur. The last time we did that, it was for AEW.
Yes.
One of their shows.
It was Fighter Fest.
Fighter Fest.
Yes.
Yeah. Was Kylie Smiley Rae on there?
Oh, Ben.
What's going on with that?
Ben, nobody knows, and people who do know aren't reporting it, and it seems to be. It's really weird. She got released.
She got released?
Yeah, she got released. Now, it's all kind of been either hushed up or there's just nothing to it, and it was a personal issue, uninvolved with wrestling, and she doesn't want it reported or something.
Okay.
And everyone kind of went, oh, fair enough, she wants to take a break from wrestling, maybe for her own mental health or something, or her physical health even. But then she started wrestling for Impact and stuff, and everyone's like, well, what's gone on there then? But nobody seems to know, or nobody seems to.
Interesting. I know that's not the story.
No, it's
so
weird.
But
it's weird.
I'm just curious because she seemed like potentially a big player in the female division.
That's why it's made such a big. Yeah, everyone feels like there could be some sort of like murkier truth to it, but nobody yet really knows. I'm sure it'll come out.
Maybe she killed someone.
Maybe she killed someone.
Maybe we'll find out.
And now the tag team, but she's still wrestling elsewhere.
No, she got away with it, didn't she?
Yeah, she raced to the state border. Now the tag team rankings, the champions are SCU. And now the Lucha Brothers are still the number 1 contenders.
Yes.
You like the Lucha Bros?
I do like the Lucha Bros.
The Young Bucks have jumped up to 3rd, jumped up to 2nd from 3rd last week, excuse me. The Private Party have jumped up to 3rd after not being ranked last week. I got corrected by someone. I called them the Private Party, and someone was like, it's just Private Party.
It's just a Private Party.
Yeah,
it's not the only one, Jack.
No.
Idiot.
Yeah, I know.
God.
Proud and Powerful, aka Santana and Ortiz, have dropped down to 4th from 2nd because they lost to the Private Party. And the Dark Order are still in 5th, maintaining their position from last week. So that's quite interesting as well. You clearly want the Lucha Bros to seize those belts from SCU.
I do. They're just the most fun, aren't they?
Phoenix had a singles match this week.
Really?
Against Nick Jackson.
I bet that was really good.
It was really good, and Phoenix picked up the big old victory.
Phoenix is fantastic.
He's great. They're both great.
They really are.
I love them both equally.
I wish they were. Almost wish they were singles competitors as well.
I know, it's hard, isn't it?
Because they're so good.
It's hard to, because they're great as a tag team too. They might be my favourite tag team in the world today right now.
Oh my God, really?
Was yours as well? Undisputed Era?
Oh, it's so hard. You've really put me on the spot.
I'm sorry, Ben.
I don't know what to say. I love Tyler Breeze and Fandango. I think they're really good fun. But not necessarily from a wrestling standpoint, but I think they're great.
Yes.
I'm just a big fan.
Who's the funnier of the two before we move on quickly?
Fandango.
Oh, yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh. Next up, a star, as I said in the intro, of the past and slightly more modern past, was a guest coach at the Performance Center this week, as he tweeted on his own personal Twitter, and it's none other than Shannon Moore. That's my accent, Moore. Shannon Moore. You may remember him from various gimmicks over the course of his career, all of them hilarious. In WCW, he was a member of the infamous 3 Count stable, the boy band stable, who at one point were managed by DJ Tank Abbott. He then he then went to. I like him. He then went to. It's just the gimmick was funny.
I don't dislike him. It's just the words you're saying are nonsense, Jack.
And it sounds like I'm doing a Mad Lib. And then he went to WWE, of course, where he was the MFer. It's okay. He was the Mattitude follower. He was Matt Hardy's little minion when he was being the sensei of
Big
Mattitude.
minion, don't put him down.
Well,
He's a big minion.
Yeah, cruiserweight minion. You know, not as little as the actual minions.
Not
from
our
that
minion.
thing. Yeah, no. Then he got all tatted up. Like Sam Driver, the only person I can think of with tattoos. You've got tattoos.
I have 2 tattoos.
You've got 2 tattoos.
I'm not as tatted as Sam Driver.
No. He got all tatted up and started spiking his hair, and he became a punk, and he started calling himself the Prince of Punk. And then on the ECW brand, he got into a mini feud with CM Punk. I think he may have even been CM Punk's first WWE match over who was real Punk.
Who's the punkist?
There was a promo backstage where he went, "I'm the Prince of Punk." And then CM Punk came up and slapped him and went, "You're a poser."
Whoa!
Because he's cool. Yeah, he's the babyface Punk as well.
That was rad.
Yeah, I know.
What a cool guy. I hope he's all right.
No posers. So Shannon Moore has been a guest coach at the Performance Center. I think Alex Shelley recently did some coaching there as well. It's nice to see faces from the past and sometimes the present turn up. Not even necessarily figures from WWE like Alex Shelley. Do a bit of coaching. I guess just whatever you can. If you get people from all over the place, I guess it gives a different insight for the people at the Performance Centre.
No, I totally agree. It seems Shannon Moore is very well travelled.
I wonder if he's got more to give.
What is that?
It's a little pun. More.
Little pun?
Shannon Moore to give.
Oh, Shannon Moore to give. That's really good, Jack. You should be very proud.
Thank you. And if you want to check us out on our reactions to the stream, myself, Ben, and Sam Driver have all done predictions, and of course, as I mentioned, it will be taking place on the Triple Jump channel. You can either click the link in the description, or you can head to youtube.com/Team Triple Jump /live.
Oh, what a professional.
And check us out there.
Unbelievable.
Back to you in the studio.
Very well, Jack.
Me in the outro. Thanks very much for watching, and let us know what you think in the comments section down below. You can follow Cultaholic on Twitter @Cultaholic and on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. If you enjoy what we do, then please do check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Cultaholic, where you can pledge. And don't forget, of course, most importantly of all, to hit subscribe and to join us.